But
Right.
how to stick to one single topic, ma'am? How to jot down that? Now my brain is filled with many ideas, but I don't know how to do a study.
So these two things you can do even if you don't have any access to any typical clinical sample that way. So we are back with another episode of Science Talk today. And today Rujuta told me that she has certain questions in her mind and she's going to shoot me with her questions. Okay, Rujuta, so you can just start shooting your questions to me and I'm ready to take all the bullets today.
Now my brain is filled with many ideas, but I don't know how to do a study. Yes, ma'am. I have so many questions regarding this. These days, I was doing post graduation, so I was having accessibility to patients. So I used to do so many different studies as well. But now, because of this lockdown, I'm not getting any access to the patients. So I still want to do a study, ma'am. Is there a way that I can do a study still?
Yeah, basically if you can dig up your own data where you actually have many data which might not have been processed, so that is one thing which you can actually start. You can, because you have seen a population of patients, so maybe a kind of population study that you can think about which involves more of statistical component, statistical analysis, where you can just keep the information up from or take the information out from your existing data. So that can be one way where you really don't have to go out and hunt for samples as well, because if you are stuck in this way and you are not getting access to the patient samples, whether it can be any sample, whether it is tissue, whether it is blood, whatever, plasma, saliva, whatever, so in that case, yes, a typical clinical research will be difficult at this point of time if you are not attached anywhere or if you don't have any access to your patients. Second thing that you can do as a complete beginner is a very good way is to do a KAP study. So I hope you know what is a KAP survey or KAP study. KAP stands for knowledge, attitude, and P is for
Practices.
yes. Yes, I know that you know, and it is very popular kind of model that we follow in particularly when we are talking about in the healthcare fraternity, because KAP studies do not require large budget, or you just need a handful of population to be studied, and you can actually assess many things. Like one good example is at this present situation about the mental health. So in mental health you can actually take up those areas and try to understand, and what you can actually give reports where you can assess health related beliefs as well. So there are many things that you can do in this way. I just give you one example which is very pertinent at this point. So that is one way definitely you can do. And if you are very academic and you really want to delve into more and utilize this time for your own upgradation, then it is a very good thought to start writing a review article. If you haven't done it before, doesn't matter, it will take time for you, but you can always start doing it, because writing a review article is just not seeing two papers and writing about it, but it has a process and you have to go through it and you have to read a lot. So in this process your knowledge also gets updated. So these two things you can do even if you don't have any access to any typical clinical sample that way. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I think this was very much helpful. Now this has given us, place for so many ideas in my mind. I think we can use different kinds of questionnaires, which I had read in so many articles. Using them, we can do a survey study. So that was very helpful, ma'am.
Actually, the best way to start when you are beginning is basically when you can take up any reference article, because KAP study generally it's a survey study, so it always focuses on a particular population. So a good way is to actually take some ideas of an existing study and you can do it in your own population. So it will not be typically a very novel way, but just for kickstart your career or kickstart your footprint in the pathway of research towards publication or anything that you think. This is a good way because you have some idea, you have some existing references, you can take it up. Well, don't copy and paste it, but then you can definitely take ideas and it will help you. And in these survey studies, basically you just have to first come up with questionnaires, validate them, and then you need help from statisticians and people like that. So as such, you just need to form your idea in a good way, and the validation of the questionnaire is important. Those are the two key things that you have to actually look into it. Yeah.
So, ma'am, now as we are talking about all these different kinds of studies, so whenever a student or a beginner thinks of doing a study, I think so many ideas come up in the mind. Like, I want to do this, I want to do that. So many
Right.
ideas come up. But
Right.
how to stick to one single topic, ma'am? How to jot down that?
Yeah, so this is a very good question, and this is a common question which I always get, because if you are confused, because when you are interested about a field, the thing is that whenever it is a field, first of all, there are two things in this. One is to find out a field of interest, because sometimes some people will be so utterly confused that they literally don't know which is my field of interest. Second thing is that if you are having too many ideas and you are confused, then where to start to find an idea? So that's the most pertinent question. So, well, in this aspect, I will definitely like to tell about something before I answer this question. That is, we conduct a course specifically on how you can solve these kind of problems. If you are confused, and if you don't know how to come up with an idea, or if you have a great idea, then how to put forward, and how to write a proposal, how to come up with a plan with the research. So we have a course on online course on research planning, and there are basic as well as advanced modules. You can go back and see our website www.jinden.com, and you will get all the details there, and you can take it up anytime you want. Okay, so it's a self-paced learning, so that will not be a problem. Now, coming back to your question, that how you can actually understand which way to go, is something like choosing the correct path to get into your destination. Well, this is the way which I have been doing, and I will like to share that. First of all, if it is you are starting with the area, suppose say any area which you are interested, so see the most validated fields inside that area is kind of subfields. Okay, so you can note them down, and in those, so that way, what you are converging your thought process. So maybe suppose you are a periodontist. So as I know, so in periodontics, what you like? Do you like more about the clinical aspect? Do you like the molecular biology aspect? So these are all different aspects. Do you like the to study something or do something on typically on looking into genetic aspects, genetic studies related to periodontology? So these are subfields in your vast field of periodontology, because periodontology is a very very big field. So there are so many topics that can be there. So now from this list, you have to again come up with a summary, like among all these 5 points, which is more attractive to you. So in this way, you come down to one particular area. Now coming to topic, you have to think that what aspects can you think regarding this topic. Say for example, if you are taking up molecular biology for periodontology, so what are the things that you can do there? So you can start thinking about comparing certain techniques, taking up studying the molecules of inflammation that would be there, maybe certain cytokines. So maybe not even all cytokines, maybe the most studied ones, but you want to do something else. Maybe the cytokine which is in the step number 2, or maybe level 2, which is not much talked about, but your interest goes there, you want to do something with that. So this is how you niche down to one single thing. Well, this is a process, and you have to do it. Until and unless you do it, nobody can help you. And it is not just that you come to me, I tell you a topic, and the next day you start searching literature, and the next day you start your project. Doesn't work that way, because I always believe that you should work in a domain which you love to do. That is very important. And research is something. It is something like building up. You are trying to form a new baby. So you have to have that passion when you are actually trying to even do a small study, short study, whatever it is, long study. So this kind of thought process has to be there. So this is how you can actually do it.
Yes, ma'am. We can narrow down the topic of interest, like from larger aspect coming towards more into the specific aspect what we like. Then I think it will be very easy to understand what interests us more.
Yes.
So with this, ma'am, I think I have come across so many students and even UG students, like they ask, like, I want to do research, ma'am. How should I do? What are the basic steps I need to follow in doing such research? Ma'am, any helpful thoughts regarding that?
Yeah, basic steps is first step definitely is that where you want to start. So in this case, if you are an undergraduate student, the best way is to follow your mentor. So just go to your mentor and talk to them and see that if they have some idea, they are pushing you to a particular topic. So if they're pushing you to a particular topic, your duty as a student should be not to become angry on the mentor, but delve in more inside that topic, and you see that if you can come up with four more titles or four more areas in that topic only what your ma'am or sir has told you, because in that way you start going into the learning process. So once you have that, you have next step is to come up with the literature search. So that is ample there. So you just have to start searching literature, pertinent literature, review articles, clinical studies that has been done, or any other studies which is pertinent to what you are trying to do. So the best way is always to start with is to have a mentor, and second is to have a guidance. So guidance is nothing but any reference article where you can actually start with to understand the concept or how to begin with. Because in even if you are reading a review paper or any article, there is one thing you should notice, and that gives you a direction. That is, when you are publishing whenever somebody is publishing an article, they always give you a scope of research with that. So that is your starting point basically. So whether it is a clinical study, whether it is a KAP study, whether it is a review article, so go and hunt very nicely, just squeeze all the information out from particularly from the conclusion and discussion part, because and the results part definitely. So it will give you a lot of ideas and it will give you a specific pathway, because that is where uh, the publications helps us, and that is where we tell ki go and search literature. So literature search is not only to know about the topic, gain knowledge about the topic, but also to find out the pertinent research question which is still existing, or the research problem. So from there in you can actually start your first step, and automatically when you fall in the game you will do it. Okay, so I think that was good questions from Rujuta, and I think we will wind up for the day, and we'll come back with more science talks like this. And if you want us to talk about certain specific aspects of science and technology pertaining to biosciences and dentistry and medicine, please feel free to put up your ideas in the comment section, and we'll be happy to take up those topics, and we will try to give you more information as per your interest. Thank you so much for joining in. Take care and bye bye.